Oh, here we go.
The hell? Turn my mic on. Fritzy!
Come on.
What's up, brother? This Friday's off to a great start.
Yeah, you're not locked in. You're not locked in early.
What's up, brother?
A lot like the Eagles aren't apparently locked in. A lot going on in the last 24 hours since the last time we were on the air. Reports everywhere. Start receiver maybe deleting social media. Start receiver maybe not at practice. We got a loaded show for you on this Football Friday. Nick Costos at 2:42. Elliott Shore Parks at 3. Jaws at 4. Top 5 at 5, and, of course, our picks. But we start with Monday because there's, believe it or not, a playoff game on Monday, even though there is a little bit of a post-mortem feel to it. But if they're going to win and, we start putting the pressure, who's it more on? There's no one on Monday that this game is more on than Jalen Hurts. This is a Hurts game on Monday, and let's get this out of the way early. I don't want to hear the excuses of the finger. I don't want to hear the excuses of the weather. I don't want to hear the excuses of the defense. This is a franchise right now from the outside looking in that looks a bit tumultuous. There's talk of the coach maybe being moved on if they lose this game on Monday. There's a lot swirling around this team. And when you pay a quarterback the amount of money they did, and he is a quote-unquote top 5 elite quarterback, he can't go lose in a game that they're favored in, by the way. Believe it or not, the Eagles are favored in the game on Monday.
They actually are, yeah.
Even though everyone on ESPN's picking the Bucs to win, and feels like people here are picking the Bucs to win, including myself. But you can't lose a playoff game to Baker Mayfield if you have that guy. He has to be the eraser. Monday, Ike, the pressure's on Jalen to win this football game. No excuses.
Yeah, I think I agree with you for the most part. I understand where you're coming from. I don't think it's solely on Jalen to win the game, but he is the quarterback. He has the most impact on the outcome of the games for the most part. And for it to be in the postseason, I don't know if he can just get through a game without being the most impactful player, even if it's from a game managing standpoint. So when I hear you say the pressure is on Jalen to find a way to win this game or to win this game, I just take it as, in the end result, he needs to do whatever is required of him to do. I want them to come out with the idea to run the football, but that doesn't mean that you won't find yourself in a 3rd and long situation or somewhere down there in the red zone where you need to make a throw. He needs to make the throws. He does not need to turn the ball over. You can't take critical sacks at the wrong time, things of that nature, right? I don't mind the game plan being run the football, but you're not going to get through this game without Jalen having to make plays with his arms at some point. And so he has to be more on than Baker Mayfield. And the ironic part about this matchup is that Baker Mayfield isn't that healthy.
No.
So he's missed practice, actually, ribs and ankle situation. So, and Rachaad White, who's a good young running back, second-year player, he's not DeAndre Swift. He's averaging about, their running game is less than 4 yards per carry.
Yep.
He's not an explosive running back. So even if they try to give him the ball as a way to win the game in Tampa, Baker Mayfield at some point is going to still have to make plays. And so when we look at the end result of this game, we can't look up and say, well, Baker Mayfield made the plays he needed to make and Jalen Hurts didn't make any plays. And it's all Nick Sirianni's fault. No. When you're getting paid, the money that you're getting paid, and for a matchup like this, even though it's on the road, you're still favored. You have the better overall team.
Yes.
So it's not like you're going into a situation in San Francisco and we're expecting you to find a way to win the game. Or in Dallas, this is Tampa Bay. This team, I don't even know if they deserve to be in the playoffs. They just were the best of a bad division. That's all that was. And if you're the Eagles, I know they aren't playing well right now. But to your point, this is why you pay that guy that type of money. It just is. To win a game like this, to find a way to win the game where you're playing a game where, you know what, the one advantage we clearly have should be at the quarterback position.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why you pay him. And
I'm in agreement with that.
And people will say, well, why does contract matter? Why does this matter? It's
what?
It's $250,000.
Yeah.
They
Quarter billion.
$250 million. Yeah. The $250,000.
I made $250,000. Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It's $250 million quarterback. Yeah. I've said this a lot this week. You pay him to be the eraser. You pay him to be, when the chips are down, that he can drag you through it. And I can just sense it coming, Ike. I can sense what do you want him to do? A.J. Brown's banged up. Devontae's banged up. The defense can't stop anything. Like, sure, the defense has to be able to, of course, get some stops. It can't go up and down the field. But he has to be good and great on Monday. He has to be a difference maker. Monday's not about Sirianni. Like, Sirianni can really only do so much. Monday's on Jalen. And whether you want to do the blitz and they're not giving him ideas or or hot reads on the blitz, listen to the way the people have talked this week about seeing the field and them being open and him missing the throws. He's got to correct that stuff. He has to be an eraser. 215-592-9494. Who is Monday on? Is it on Sirianni? That's been, I think, early in the week. It seemed like that was the talking point. Sirianni coaching for his job. We do have some information on whether or not that is true. The defense, of course, the defense is going to have to go out there and at least get a stop. They can't go out there and be, Swiss cheese, even though they kind of are. Slay's back, though.
Slay's back. All's good.
Yeah,
All's good.
Everything's fine. Darius Slay's back. Or is it on the quarterback? Are we putting Monday a playoff game on the road against Baker Mayfield on the quarterback? It's time. It's time to raise the expectations. They're 1-5 in their last 6. There's a lot swirling around this football team that, has it kind of looking like there's chaos coming out of the NovaCare and out of Lincoln Financial Field. The reality of the situation is that when you pay a quarterback top 5 money, they have to go out and make everything okay. Monday's on Jalen. It's on him. He's got to win this football game. 215-592-9494 is how you get in. Derrickson Paoli kicks us off today. What's happening, D?
Yo, who's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league right now that's not in the playoffs, right? Justin Herbert. There's plenty of quarterbacks that get money that
he's
don't
hurt.
do what they're getting.
Well, yeah, he got injured. Like,
but that's what I'm saying, though. With everyone else, it's always like, Mahomes is having a down year. He don't have this guy, but with Hurts, it's like he always got to have his cape on. Now,
do you expect Pat Mahomes to win on Saturday versus Miami?
Nah, not
yeah.
Stop it.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Why? Why are you taking the Dolphins?
But even if you're taking the Dolphins, you would be in the minority. The Chiefs are favorite. They're in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time league MVP. Going up against a team playing. No, like listen to me, Derek. I don't care what he looks like. I'm telling you what the expectations are. The advantage, the circumstances are to his advantage. He's playing at home. It's going to be minus 30 degrees in Arrowhead. You mean to tell me you expect the Dolphins to go to Arrowhead in minus 30-degree weather, where they are terrible on the road, by the way, and beat Patrick Mahomes at home? That's what you're telling me you expect?
I'm picking the Dolphins. Bro.
You ain't putting no money down on that.
Why not? I'm on FanDuel every day. I'm just
telling you, just burning money is what I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you.
This is what I've been hearing all day. It's just like all about the money. Like, we gave this guy the money, but everybody else get a free pass with the money.
Who gets a free pass with the money? Who?
There's a lot of quarterbacks.
Dak Prescott didn't. No, they don't. Dak Prescott.
$150 million, bro.
Who? These guys.
The highest paid quarterback is not even in the playoffs right now.
Who's the highest paid quarterback?
He's hurt. Hurt's been hurt all year. He's still playing.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't been hurt. No, he hasn't.
Now he got a dislocated finger. Now all the pressure's on.
Why are you lowering the expectation on to go beat Baker Mayfield on the road?
Listen, the Eagles are in a complete disarray. So to just put all the pressure on Hurts because he's getting paid the most money, I just think that's unfair. They lost 5 or 6. It's a multitude.
And he didn't have anything to do with that, right? He didn't have anything to do with that.
He's a quarterback, but it's not all his fault to just say.
No one said that.
Do everything.
Well, let me ask you this, Derek. Who do you expect to step up the most Monday and be the most impactful player?
Listen, if our defense can.
Our defense. Come on.
Right? You said Rashard White 4 yards per carry, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
If we can hold him, we can get a couple 3. We haven't had a 3 and out in how long?
Give
So
me
you-
the
it
player.
might
Give
have
me
to be
the
a shootout.
player, D. Give me the player, Derek.
I
Give me
would
the
like
player.
to see. I would like to see DeAndre Swift have a good game running the ball.
Okay.
I would like to see Dallas
Is,
Goedert
Da-
get
is,
more
is,
involved.
is Swift going to run the
Like,
ball
that's
50
the kind of
times?
stuff. I'm not
Is,
saying 50, but he's
Right.
going. It's going to have to be. It's not just
Where-
gonna be
where do
Jalen
the
Hurts
Eagles-
out there
where do the
throwing
Eagles have the
ball
clear-
all around the field, bro?
where do the Eagles have the clear advantage over the Bucs?
I mean, we would hope quarterback, right?
Okay. So why is it so
We would
much to
hope
ask the
running
quarterback
back,
to go erase
running
that?
back, right? Running back, right?
Maybe.
I just-
Rashard White.
I honestly, Derek,
Appreciate that.
I don't know why you wouldn't want your quarterback to go out there if you really want them to win the game Monday night. And I'm surprised I actually have to say that, but I do have to say that because there are some people out there who don't even want the team to win the game Monday night. I don't happen to be one of those people. I want them to win Monday night. Why wouldn't I want my quarterback, my best player, if he's able to play? I'm not saying he needs to go out there and throw for 300 yards. I just gave you the game plan. If it's a running game, I'm okay with that. But there's still going to be plays he has to make on third down at some point.
Right.
He's got to make a throw. He's got to make a run. Like, he's going to have to do something there. And the difference in this game ultimately could be which quarterback does make the play or two to win the game for their team. And you're telling me it's acceptable that Baker Mayfield makes those plays versus Jalen Hurts? I just don't get that.
And I know this is going to sound simplistic and sort of cavemanish.
I'm not a Jalen Hurts hater. I'm just telling you, if I want the team to win the game Monday, I'm not going to sit here and say the quarterback doesn't have to do anything Monday to help us win.
This is going to sound cavemanish, but it's as simple as I can make it. Like, Jalen Hurts cannot lose a playoff game to Baker Mayfield. Like Baker Mayfield has been on 3 teams in the last 3 years. You know, Browns, Panthers. Well,
It might be 4 teams.
4 teams. 4
Yeah.
teams in the last 3 years. Browns, Panthers, Rams, and now the Bucs. And I don't care if he's the number 1 overall pick. Like, losing a playoff game when you started 10-1, I know you collapsed.
And he's a former walk-on.
And he's a former walk-on. Jalen's what, a 4-star recruit?
I'm just saying, yeah. I'm just saying. You know, Baker was number 1 overall pick. I don't know if he should have been the number 1 overall pick.
I think he was picked because of his mentality, quote
Right.
unquote, rather than his capabilities.
Right, because he didn't have the measurables. He did not a big arm. He's not tall. He's not fast.
And no one's taking Josh Allen number 1 that year because of Wyoming and what?
Right, you're right. That was the year that Josh Allen was.
I believe it was the
yeah,
Josh
and
Allen.
Lamar, right?
It was I think his Darnold was the third.
Yeah,
pick, right?
Darnold was the third one. Yeah.
Yeah, so what a class.
What a
class. But, like, again, like, whether you want to admit it, like, he can't. Like, Baker Mayfield is not some overwhelming talent. And if you sit here and you're, by the way, a game that you're favored in, you're going down there and you lose a duel to Baker Mayfield, what is that to say about Hurts?